Hi. I think yesterday I might have, I made myself anxious a little bit about considering human nature and where the future lies. So today I'm going for reassurance. I'm going to begin by reading to you a couple of pieces from John's Gospel from chapter 14. Very familiar pieces to some people. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Then reading on a little bit further, Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you know me, you will know my Father also. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. I just want to zoom in on that bit. If you know me, you will know my Father also. And from now on, you do know him. So I want to explore the sense of family likeness for a little while. My mum is staying with us at the moment, and I remember that she would be going into town to go shopping with her mum, my grandma, and sometimes people would think that they were two sisters, which my grandma delighted in and my mum was a bit perturbed by, but there was that resemblance, that family resemblance was so strong. And I think also of a friend of mine, we'll call him, let's call him Rick, because that's what his name is. And there's a family photo that I've seen of Rick with his dad and with Rick's son, so 3 generations. You've got father, son and grandson, and you can so clearly see the family lineage, the family resemblance, and it's absolutely delightful to see. And you just know that when Rick's son was younger, if he'd been in a playgroup, Rick could have rocked up at the playgroup, and as well as having to show ID, he could simply have said who he was coming for, and people go, yes, of course, obviously we can see that you're his dad. And it's not just about looks, is it? It's about mannerisms as well. Now and again, my other half will say something, or she'll pull a particular face, normally when I've done something I shouldn't have done, and it's as if I can suddenly see my mother-in-law in her. And that's all good, because they could well be watching. So there's these family resemblances that are visual, and also that are about expressions and mannerisms. And then of course there's the changes that we've all experienced through lockdown. Have any of you got photos of you before lockdown and now with your lockdown hair? My hair's never up to much at the best of times, but I might put some photos up in a moment of my hair before and during lockdown, where suddenly I don't resemble myself anymore. But we come back to this reading that Jesus says, if you know me, you'll know my Father also. And from now on, you do know him and have seen him. In other words, you've seen the Father because you've seen me. And I think sometimes I struggle to picture God. We've got lots of images that are given to us from the Greek God waiting on high with the clouds in judgment, ready to launch a thunderbolt at us when we take a step out of line, like some cosmic judge. And then there's the more like the Father Christmas image, waiting to bestow us with gifts, an old man with a white beard and just weak and yeah, not a lot else beyond that, just wanting to dole out the gifts, but that's it, cute and cuddly, nothing really of substance. We've got these images of this otherness of God, this beyond our understanding, and maybe some of that's right, But Jesus is saying, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And when we read the scriptures, we can build a picture of Jesus. We might not know what he looked like, except that we know he doesn't look like the way he's portrayed in Hollywood movies. I don't think he had blonde hair. I don't think he had blue eyes. If anything, he would have had Mediterranean coloured skin. He would have looked more like the Jews and Palestinians of that region today. He would probably have had dark hair, maybe brown eyes, but from the scriptures we can tell, we can build a picture of him as a man of integrity, as a man of strength of character, of principle, of compassion, somebody who was willing to learn and always put love above everything else. So if he is in the likeness of the Father, if having seen him I have seen the Father, then God is compassionate, God is forgiving, God is loving, God is welcoming and accepting. Yes, God wants us to live principled lives, but God does everything to welcome us, to make space for us, to encourage us. And for that, I thank God. So this evening, be reassured. In fact, whatever time of day it is that you watch this, be reassured. Know that God is with you, and as you struggle with that, picture Christ in the Gospels and know that in seeing Christ you are seeing the Father, and he loves you and he is with you and he will always be with you. So, call to action. Think, is there somebody that you know, might be a family, might be a neighbour, might be a friend, that needs compassion from you today? Can you show it to them? Can you do it now? Is there somebody that needs your forgiveness? Can you show it to them? Can you do it now? And finally, can you have a little bit more compassion and forgiveness for yourself today? That might be an easy one to say and a hard one to do. But God is with you, and he will be with you in every moment of every day. Stay safe and live love.